And after a hiatus of about 5 or 6 days, when my wife and I took a little trip to Georgia to visit with friends, we're back, and we're going to do now part 7 of this series that I started about, is it safe enough to take medical nutrients during the treatment of cancer? A touchy subject that most oncologists, probably close to 95 to 100%, tell you to stop taking everything. I'm going to read to you today from an article done by American Biosciences in a journal called Alternative Therapies that was done all the way back in March and April of 2007 about the efficacy of a medical nutrient, and here's a key word, in the treatment of cancer. The information you hear on Health Talk with Dr. Len is intended to be strictly educational and is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. Any medical decision should be made between you and your healthcare professional. And now, here is Dr. Len. And again, the information that I'm going to be quoting for you today comes from what I consider one of the gold standards of cancer treatment in the United States. MD Anderson Cancer Center in Bastrop, Texas, right outside of Houston. One of the leading research firms. And one of the doctors in this group, a Dr. Johanning, 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 actually did this article. Remember, MD Anderson, a very traditional university hospital. We'll get started in this in 1 minute. Welcome to you all. The number to reach me off air to set up your own personal time, whatever needs you have, 888-231-5325. Natural products are being used as supplements by cancer patients with or without the knowledge of their cancer treatment team in oncology. It's important to know which of these products show efficacy against diseases such as cancer. Notice the key word, a disease such as cancer, and which are ineffective. You know, I was out visiting with another group yesterday that tends to use what I lovingly call overkill. They give you probably 5 to 10 times more than you actually need. They're fully of the opinion that the more you give, the better the effect. And I'm finding in my career the complete opposite. More targeted nutrient support, much better effects. I talk often in the treatment of cancer, getting the body to an alkaline place is got to be priority number 1. Number 2, using whatever nutrients we need to get to that point. Number 3, getting your vitamin D levels as high as we can. And don't fear some absurd medical concept that, oh my God, if your vitamin D goes too high, it's going to be trouble. It's essential to define the mechanisms of actions of natural products. Yeah, they do have a mechanism of action. They actually do something in the human body as God created it. This is especially relevant to cancer prevention or treatment. The purpose of this article is to review the use of one natural product, a fermented wheat germ extract called Avemar, A-V-E-M-A-R. Very difficult to understand the whole path of Avemar from a Dr. Hidvagi in Hungary years ago. to the point where we are right now, and how it was copied by the Chinese and it flooded the market with ineffective brands. So American Biosciences is, in my opinion, the only firm where this product is available. The only one. Can't find it. You'll find it on Amazon, but I don't know what you're getting, quite honestly. Avamar has shown efficacy in both animal and human models, but more well-controlled trials in humans are necessary to assess the full potential of Avamar in cancer treatment. Avamar exerts its anti-cancer effect via an array of mechanisms, likely because there are many undefined components of this product that modulate numerous biological systems in cancer patients. Keep in mind, this article is from 2006. American Cancer Society estimated in 2006 more than 2.4 million new cancer cases. That number has almost doubled since 2006. This includes basal and squamous cell skin cancers that will be diagnosed in the United States. Cancer patients in the United States generally are treated using conventional therapies, which include surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and newer, more targeted therapies such as immunotherapy, gene therapy, angiogenesis inhibitors, and targeted therapies. With improved diagnostics and treatment, the 5-year survival rate of cancer patients will likely increase, and it has. And these cancer survivors will try to find treatments to prevent cancer reoccurrence and to advance longevity after a diagnosis of cancer. A recent study found that a large percentage of breast and prostate cancer patients use some form of complementary therapy. Vitamins are now being used in about 63 to 70% of breast and prostate cancer patients. Diet nutritional therapy used by 84% of the patients. This study suggests that cancer patients have a strong desire to seek out alternative diet and nutritional therapies to augment their conventional cancer therapy. The challenge to physicians and healthcare providers, then, is to provide information to cancer patients about which therapies are likely to be beneficial, to help them prevent reoccurrence of cancer and promote their well-being. Do you ever hear of an oncologist doing that? Let's make sure that we check your vitamin D levels every other month just to make sure. Let's get it up higher. Let's take a good multivitamin and, yeah. The wheat germ kernel consists of 3 parts. The endosperm is the embryo of the kernel. It makes up 83% of the kernel, and it's a source of energy for new wheat plants if the kernel is planted and sprouts. It's high in starch and gluten, the protein in wheat flour, but relatively low in vitamin and mineral content. The endosperm is used to make white flour. The bran, 14% of it, consists of the thin outer layers of the wheat kernel and contains vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The germ makes up only about 2 to 3% of the wheat kernel and is the most nutritious part of the wheat kernel. Nutrients are concentrated in the germ, and it's rich in vitamins, minerals, proteins, and fats. Wheat germ contains high levels of tocopherol and B vitamins. It's separated from the other wheat components by a milling process. Whole wheat flours are made by milling the whole kernel, that is, all 3 of the above parts. So again, the simple idea that whole wheat bread is much different. You could buy wheat bread, whole wheat bread, that is nothing more than molasses added to white bread. You need to find a good organic source and a good clean source of breads if you are going to have. In addition to the nutrients listed, wheat germ can be subject to fermentations with Saccharomyces cerevisiae, a yeast, to yield the benzoquinones, and it goes into a long 2,6-dimethyl-benzoquinone. These benzoquinones are present and unfermented in wheat germ as glycosides. And it goes on and on to talk about what these actually can do in the body. Nobel laureate and Hungarian scientist Dr. Albert Szent-Györgyi initially proposed the use of methoxy-substituted benzoquinones like those present in Avamar as anti-cancer agents. He hypothesized that the disorders of metabolism might play an important role in cancer development and found that high redox potential quinones such as those discussed in Avamar could block cell replication and suggested they might prove to be useful in reversing disorders of cellular metabolism such as cancer. Avamar was developed by the Hungarian biochemist Hidvagi and was registered in Hungary as a medical nutrient number 503 in 2002. It's approved there as a non-prescription medical nutrient for cancer patients. It's also registered as a special nutrient for cancer patients in the Czech Republic, in Bulgaria, and the Australian Register of Therapeutic Goods. It's currently available in 10 countries, in the United States and a number of other countries. Avamar is classified as a dietary supplement. So first question, is it safe? Several studies have been carried out to evaluate the safety of Avamar in doses used for treatment of cancer and autoimmune disease. U.S. Food and Drug Administration recently granted Avamar a status of generally recognized as safe, which allows it to be used in foods, drinks, and dietary supplements. So what's the mechanism of action? Since Avamar is a plant extract, the exact chemical composition is not known, and the constituents that are active against cancer is yet to be identified. The methoxy-substituted benzoquinones are good candidates for the active ingredients in Avamar, but studies have shown that these may not be the important compounds of Avamar possessing immunostimulatory activity. In other words, Avamar does various things. And if you've ever worked with somebody, or maybe you have been through chemotherapy, you know one of the big problems is you see your red blood cell counts and your white blood cell counts drop dramatically. One of the ways, and the mechanism of action is still undefined, of Avamar, it helps to keep those levels normal, so that if one goes through chemotherapy, you can actually have a higher success rate. Avamar has documented anti-cancer activities. One of the things that Avamar induces is apoptosis, or programmed cell death, via several molecular pathways. Since apoptosis, self-destruction, involves the killing of cancer cells, a major mechanism of Avamar action is apoptosis induction. Probably the most significant effect on apoptosis is the cleavage of PARP. For you science junkies, look that one up. Cytotoxic effects of Avamar have been documented in several studies, and cell death generally occurred by apoptosis in most cases. Breast cancer cells responded to Avamar by inducing apoptosis. Colon cancer cells have decreased colony formation in clonic assays. Avamar has a stimulatory effect on cellular immune response. In a study, Avamar increased the amount of thymidine incorporated into the spleen for the production of the correct levels of white blood cells. The pentose phosphate pathway, and this is where I really believe the full effect of Avamar is seen, is that if you understand the difference between a cancer cell and a normal healthy cell, and we understand that a cancer cell basically lives off of us, off of another organ, another part of the body. And when that occurs, if you could metabolically cut that lifeline to the cancer cells, you could have it just die. One of the effects that is seen with Avamar is it seems to cut those ties. So the cancer cells looking to attach to an organ, to a body part, cannot do it properly. Is it safe enough to take through any, and I'm saying any, chemotherapy, any radiotherapy, any immune modulating therapy? The answer is yes. You can look up anywhere outside of Dr. Google and find study after study, and I suggest anybody that's battling, do a Google search. Go ahead to Dr. Google and type in Avamar breast cancer, Avamar prostate cancer, Avamar skin cancer, and see what comes up. And look for documented studies, not just sales calls. Remember, American Biosciences, Inc., the only source that I know for the real deal. And it's now changed names and is now called Metatrol, M-E-T-A-T-R-O-L, Metatrol. Want more information off air? Give me a call at 888-231-5325. This is going to end our series on medical nutrients during cancer. Hopefully you've got the whole gist of that product. It does work. Here's a little piece on consults. Hi everybody, this is Dr. Len, and I want to talk to you today about a consultation. A nutritional consultation, what's that all about? It's what we do. It's a personal one-on-one time that we put aside, whether it be via social media or Zoom or in person, where we can have the ability to work closely to enhance your health. The aim is to enhance your bodily functions, alleviate symptoms of illness, improve your lifestyle through a nutritional intervention. Some people simply want to undergo a diet to ensure they're eating correctly and avoid illness. Other people have medical problems or are suffering from various symptoms that they believe can be alleviated by making nutritional changes to their diet. Other common reasons to undergo a consultation include a desire to lose weight, digestive issues, skin complaints, low energy, lethargy, stress, fertility issues, competitive sports, the list goes on. Before your consultation, we'll ask you to complete a comprehensive questionnaire. This questionnaire will focus on all aspects of your diet, lifestyle, medical history, medications you may be taking, current health concerns, and really importantly, your goals. We may also ask you to do a food and drink diary for those 3 days, maybe up to a week, so we can document everything you eat and drink during that time. Once you've completed this questionnaire, we'll look it over, and then we'll have a one-on-one consultation. Usually about an hour to an hour and a half. And during that time, you'll talk through the questionnaire and diary as well as discuss your lifestyle, your current exercise regimen, your health concerns, your family medical history, your existing symptoms, and really importantly, again, your goals. You can also discuss underlying emotional issues that may be affecting your mood, eating patterns, lifestyle. During this in-depth discussion, you may be asked to do some functional tests, saliva, blood, etc., to try to pinpoint specifically what's going on. Once we have a full and complete picture of your current nutritional, physical, and emotional situation, we'll develop a plan for you. That may involve some nutritional dietary issues, working with our dietitian, working with our chef, or supplements. We can add those to the regimen as well. Vitamins, minerals, fiber, fatty acids, amino acids. But to get the most out of a nutritional consultation, you need to be as frank and honest as you can. The more complete picture that we have of what's going on in your system, the better that we can help you. If you're interested in getting started, give us a call, 678-228-8900, or reach out to us through our website at thenutritionshop.net. Now, the website has changed. It's now www.NutriFarm.com, or call our toll-free number for information, 888-231-5325. God bless you, folks, and I'll see you back here soon. Take care.